According to the works of Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, the first Atlanteans who practiced black magic began doing so around the end of the third Atlantean subrace's reign. The people of this subrace were known as the Toltecs. They were the ancient ancestors of the native peoples in Central America of the same name. The Toltecs built wondrous cities and great marvels of technology. These Atlanteans began worshipping the dragon Thevatot. Through their practice, the Toltecs became increasingly selfish and materialistic. Soon thereafter, the Turanians, the ancestors of those we now know as the Turkic peoples, became the more dominant fourth subrace, conquering much of Atlantis, frequently battling the Toltecs. The Turanians continued the practice of black magic all the way until the final sinking of Atlantis. Their religion deified the self. The Turanians thought that each person was their own lord, their own god. Shrines would contain gold and silver statues of each member of the village, and people would come to the temple to worship themselves. The rich could have their own shrines and hire priests to offer prayers. Turanians would also worship the other people they admired and pay monetary tribute at their shrines. The Turanians were also a warlike race. They established their military prominence by abandoning family structures altogether. Men were given free rein to impregnate women. These women and their children would be taken care of by the state, and the children would be raised as warriors. These were a people who knew nothing of the bonds of familial love. It was during the periods of the Toltec and Turanian people that the Atlanteans developed a highly evolved knowledge of both magic and science. The Atlanteans powered their cities with nuclear and solar energy. They were no strangers to the power of nuclear weapons. Furthermore, they were capable of infusing elemental spirits into robots, creating intelligent androids. They were also highly skilled in medicine and had mastered transplanting organs. They could even transplant brains, and with them, the conscious awareness of the person to whom that brain belonged. A person could live near indefinitely by transplanting their brain into the body of a younger, fully grown adult. It was during this time period that the great black Empress Jezebel reigned for hundreds of years over the southern states through glandular infusions. When she sensed her organs were weakening and her body began to age, she would have young women and children killed. Their organs would be collected, and the glandular secretions would be injected into the queen. This process revitalized her, so that she would always appear young and beautiful, free to charm and seduce princes and kings with her malignant beauty. Jezebel was also known for establishing cannibalism in Atlantis. After harvesting organs to rejuvenate herself, she would have her physician priests toss the corpses and unused parts to the servile masses, who would tear apart the bodies and feast upon the flesh. She has been referred to as Jezebel of the Woeful Destinies. Another prominent figure of black magic rose to power during this time, the magician Huarpa. It is said that he had such a strong will that he could physically manifest any image he created in his mind. He used this power to create vicious monstrosities out of the aether that would do his bidding. He sustained them by feeding them his blood. Some sources indicate that these creatures were referred to as chimeras. They also suggest that Huarpa was not the only black magician with this power, and that in addition to fighting battles, these chimera were also used as sex slaves. Others still would worship these vampire-like entities. Some of these creations survived the flood, and have lived off human blood up until modern times, becoming the subjects of myth and urban legends. Huarpa declared all-out war on other states within Atlantis, sparking wars between white and black magicians. During the day, he would don metal armor and a sword to fight, At night, he would send his wolf-like monstrosities to attack. This is how Huarpa fought against other cities and peoples on Atlantis, and even took down the city of the White Master Moria. In this manner, Huarpa became the Emperor of Atlantis until he was slain by Master Moria's reincarnation. Battles between white and black magicians raged across Atlantis until it sank into the Atlantic Ocean. The white magicians telepathically warned their disciples of the oncoming cataclysm, so many fled the island by boat or airship. This is the origin of the story of Noah's Ark, the flooding of Gilgamesh, the Hindu legend of Manu, as well as many other flood myths. While primarily white magicians were the ones to escape from the sinking Atlantis, plenty of black magicians escaped to the modern Americas. Voodoo dolls are a practice that originates from Atlantis. Black magicians use the doll to focus mental energy into wishing harm upon their enemies. Aztec sacrificial ceremonies also fall under this category of practices passed down from Atlantis. While the survivors of the sunken continent fled to all the remaining corners of the world, many reached the Americas due to its proximity. All native tribes that existed in the Americas are descendants of the white and black magicians of Atlantis.